Hi, this is Diana Walker, and welcome to our Sunrider nutrition call with Trudy Stoelting and Diana Walker. And we are talking about the immune system today. That's our biggest concentration. As soon as Trudy and I said we were going to have an immune call, I said, great, I rarely get sick. It's so wonderful. I love talking about that subject. And then I got sick. On Sunday, I had a terrible cold, and then Sunday, Monday, and then gone by Tuesday with the help of lots of Sunrider, and also, which I didn't mention to Trudy, organic garlic. And so nobody could come around me. Well, I didn't go out very much, but I had a ton of garlic, and then I just lived on SunnyFresh. I better put it in this hand. SunnyFresh and Alpha 20 C and Citric C chewable tablets and Evergreen and Vitafruit. And so we're going to talk about all those topics. Also, of course, Sunbreeze Oil, which is invaluable every day of the year. And Quinary, which I have every day too. So, Trudy is the one that introduced me to Sunrider 22 years ago in November. So, November 1996. So, right now we're in October 2018. So, 22 years ago. It's unbelievable. It really transformed my life. I had studied nutrition and health, and I was a naturopath, and thought I knew everything. But when Trudy and I were working at the hospital here in our small town of Salmon Arm, I saw her come back to work after being gone for a couple of years, and we were really good friends, but she seemed to be, not ever able to come back to work. And then she was back at work. And Sunrider made the difference in her life so that she became fully alive again. And for me, I used one of the products called New Plus, and that was unbelievable because the next morning I had more energy than I'd had in a long time. And I also was able to wake up with no pain in my hips. And I was 49 then, and getting, feeling old. And as a single parent and working full time at the hospital, I was under a lot of stress. I was drinking 8 cups of coffee a day, and I couldn't get off that. And within 3 days of drinking Kelly tea, I was off it. So I haven't had coffee in 22 years. So there's a lot of health benefits. Plus, I rarely get the cold or the flu. So I'd like Trudy to tell her little bit of an intro here, and then we'll start on the immune system.
Thank you so much, Diana. I have to admit that every single person on this call is so grateful that we're just on a Zoom call and not face-to-face with you eating all that garlic. I was introduced to the Sunrider products. I didn't know about the business many years ago, and that was 22 and a half years ago almost. And I was sick and tired of being sick and tired because I really was struggling with a compromised immune system. Now, you know what? It seemed like school season would start and our kids would come home from school and they'd all stay healthy, but I'd pick up the colds and viruses that they had been exposed to at school. And I was the one that would suffer with them. So it was really important for me to nourish my body back into health. And my friend Karen was just a sweetheart. She talked to me and she said, Trudy, she said, your body really needs super nutrition. And I said, well, I thought I was doing really well. We were eating organic and I was doing everything I could think of. And she said, there's nothing like the concentration of the Sunrider herbal foods. She said, they're not drugs or medicines, they're foods. They're all in a food category, but they're whole foods and a large combination of whole foods. And I thought, I've tried everything else, and I didn't really listen to her at first, I have to admit. She had to approach me 3 times and talk to me before I thought, you know, I'm going to give it a try. I have no excuse not to do this. And the rest is just history. I started to get stronger. I started to feel better. I started to have more energy. I started to have a feeling of well-being day in and day out. And it's been 22 and a half years. And I can't imagine going back to feeling that crappy again. I don't ever want to be there. It's addicting to be really, really healthy and to feel great. Doesn't mean that I don't do stupid things once in a while. This summer I had a really bad accident and fractured my pelvis. And they told me it would be 3 months before I'd really be mobile again. And I want to tell you that tomorrow is my 3-month point. And I have been mobile without a walker or cane or crutches or anything like that from 3 weeks into that injury. The total healing actually took 6 weeks in total, but it's just been phenomenal. I was back in the garden by the 4-week point, gardening, picking on my produce and you know, washing it, putting it in the freezer, everything that had to be done, back to cooking. So regeneration with the Sunrider Foods is phenomenal. And when you have a strong immune system, when you do something that is not the brightest thing in the world, to have an accident, it is phenomenal in the recovery period. It's just so really, really amazing. So Diana, I'm looking forward to this topic today, immune system.
Thank you, Trudy. You're amazing. I can't believe how quickly you recovered from that recent accident. And also when we were working together at the hospital, you all we wanted to do, both of us, was share how amazing we were feeling. and to this day, we still have a lot of nurses and even a couple of doctors that got interested in the products. And, you know, and we were before our time, because now there are so many things on the market, but nothing has the amazing results of the way that all of this is combined. So a lot of you are familiar with Quinary. Let me put that up here. So that I have a package of that every day now. When I started out, I used the capsules, and this works on the circulatory, respiratory, immune, endocrine, and digestive system. So in there, you heard the word immune, and there's about 50 herbs in here, and there's 5 formulas that are all together. The main one that works on your immune system is the alpha-20 C. And that's been my lifesaver right now. I don't take this year round. Some people do. They have it every day. The alpha-20 C, which really, really strengthens your immune system and works on the T cells, which Sunrider actually puts that even in their advertising now. So T cells are really important for your immune system. And so this comes in capsules as well. But the actual package looks like this. They've been changing the packaging lately. So this is the alpha-20 C package, but you can take it in capsules also. So that's what I've been having, a package or more every day for those 2 days when I had all that garlic and also apple cider vinegar. I just was doing everything that would knock that cold out, because I can't believe people have these all the time. People have colds and flus all the time. And for me, it's like, this is so rare. I guess I had to experience it again to feel that bad. And yeah, so now I feel great. I've also been using the Citric C. These are chewable. And you might have seen my little video that I did 9 years ago with my son. And he loved these. He would eat the whole bottle if I'd let him, because they're chewable. And Trudy knows a lot more about the Citric C than I do. So Trudy, do you mind talking about that a little bit?
Well, you know, we were talking a little bit about the immune system, and how do you feed and nourish your body, and literally feed and nourish your immune system. And that's one of the things that the Citric C is so good at, is nourishing the immune system. Whoops, I'm just moving my page here. The primary ingredient in there, of course, is vitamin C, which is a really high antioxidant, very, very nourishing for our immune system. And it's our Sunrider Citric C has got a really concentrated herbal formula that contains all sorts of different herbs that are really, really proprietary blend. So it's really easy to digest. You can chew it, like Diana said. The biggest thing is just put it in your body, especially at this time of the year. We're going into flu season. I mean, it really is a time when there's a lot of viruses around there. And by the time a person actually gets a flu or a cold or a virus of that kind of things, they're actually already passing that virus on to others for 7 days before. So thanks, Diana. I'm glad that you were in British Columbia during that 7-day period. Because we don't even know we're coming down with something, and the viruses are out there already. When you have a really strong immune system, your body just kicks it out. It just you don't even know that you've come in contact with anything. And to nourish that system, you really need those high antioxidant foods, and Citric C is definitely right on the top of my list. Another one that I really love, Diana, and I don't know if you had on your list, is Sunergy Plus. It's called Sunergy Plus in Canada, and in the United States it's called Energy Plus. And isn't that a lovely name? Energy Plus. I find that if I'm feeling a little laggy in the middle of the day, usually because I ate the wrong things at lunchtime, I'll eat one of these Energy Plus, and it just gives you that extra boost. So was that on your list today too?
You know, that was on my plans, but it is definitely something that I was using during this time. I use always, but it did help me for sure. So thanks for bringing that one. Yes, Energy Plus in the States and Sunergy Plus in Canada. Yeah.
And it's your wonderful vitamin E, which is awesome for our circulation system too. So every time that you nourish any of the main systems in the body, you're nourishing and helping the immune system to stay strong and healthy as well. So that's one of the things that I always find during flu season or any time. Actually, I eat it all year, but I tend to eat more during flu season. So like I'll take 1 or 2 capsules a day regularly throughout the year, and flu season I might eat 4. So.
Well, I know I love sharing you at Sunrider Convention. Oh, Bernadette, can you please mute? Oh, I'll mute you. And yeah, I think that you were making a sound there. Yeah, convention, Trudy's always got so many goodies and some things that I don't use on a regular basis, and so I happy I share with you, Trudy, because then I get to try all yours, and you make sure that I have lots of energy during the 5 days or a week that we're together. And I missed you this year because you had your accident.
I know. That's it. I'm going next year, God willing.
That's right. That's right. So another thing that I've used a lot this season is Vitafruit. So the Sunrider Vitafruit is it's delicious, and it provides a lot of energy. And the ingredients, let me see. Yeah, I've gone through a lot of Vitafruit. It's up here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me read out the ingredients, because it is such a like, what happens for me is I know lemons are good for you, but I'll buy them and they just sit there. I never use them. And I know other fruits are good. I do eat a fair amount of fruits, but this has buckthorn fruit, luhan goo, lemon oil, winter melon, date, orange peel, bitter orange, and honey as a natural preservative. It is so delicious. And a vial like that makes a large container of beautiful fruit juice. Or I've even heard people use it over their pancakes or waffles, like a little syrup, because it's very syrupy. and so good for you. Talk about antioxidants. So,
What do you mix it into, Diana?
well, I often pour like a half a vial into my container, along with some water and Fortune Delight and stevia, Sunrider stevia. That's how I like it. But sometimes I just have it, like during this 2 days of illness, I was just eating it off a spoon. So
Yeah.
just getting anything in my body that could help me recover, and I sure recovered fast. So and the SunnyFresh. I went through almost all 10 of my bottles of SunnyFresh. So SunnyFresh is remarkable. It is also a liquid in a glass vial, and I used to have trouble keeping these in the house when my sons were at home. When Gabe tried his first one, he was about 8 years old, and he just I had to hide them because they do taste delicious. And I remember a story from a lady that I knew. Her little daughter was named Christine, and Christine had been having antibiotics for 6 months, and with off and on with no results, and she had a terrible cold and cough, and her mom gave her 1 vial a day for 10 days, and she was fine. So and also singers use it for their throat, and apparently they can sing better. I can't sing better from it, but that would be good. But
I think you had to be able to sing in the first place, Diana. You know, one thing I would love to say, these foods are just amazing nutrition. I'm going to tell you a funny little, could I tell you a little story, a really funny little story about the Vitafruit and the SunnyFresh?
yes,
I can remember Randy Fritz had a daughter who was about 8 or 9 years old at the time too. And Randy had bought several boxes of SunnyFresh and Vitafruit, and they were in the cupboard. And he went to get one day, and it was empty. There were no vials left in it. And it was just like a week or two after he had bought it, and he couldn't figure out what happened. And so he asked his wife and he asked his daughter, no, like little kids are so innocent, right? Anyway, he was cleaning the house one day, and he moved the sofa away from the wall, and here's all these vials, empty vials of SunnyFresh and Vitafruit. His little girl had gotten into them and eaten them all in a week. And he said there was like probably 60 or 90 empty vials behind the couch. I hadn't hurt her at all because it was super nutrition. But he said she had eaten them all. She just couldn't get enough. It was like her body really wanted them, and she got into them. And just like a little kid in the cookie jar, at least she was eating something really, really healthy.
I love it. Thanks for telling that story, Trudy. Yes, I remember Randy telling us. And yeah, SunnyFresh, everybody get some SunnyFresh in for the winter. Like, you might not use it every day, but it's something that if you have that in your cupboard, then you're set. One of the things to have in your cupboard. And do you want to mention anything more about Sunbreeze Oil, Trudy? This is very powerful. Just it's an essential oil, so you can actually use it in an aromatherapy. Mm-hmm.
I love this because if you are feeling a little bit stuffed up, I actually you can put it in a steamer and just have that, breathe in that steam and really refresh your sinuses. I've never found anything like it for opening up the bronchial membranes and the sinuses. I'll tell you, can you ever breathe deep? One thing I have learned is that when you put it in, I usually put it with hot steaming water because that's how I like it best, is don't go right over top of it and breathe deep because it's so strong. There's no question whether it works or not. It's just like, oh, it's very, very refreshing. So Sunbreeze Oil, you can use it in many, many different ways, but that's just one of the things that I find when I do feel a little stuffy or someone's been in my home that maybe has had a cold or a virus or something like that. I will purify the air with this so that I'm breathing this in to really, nourish the bronchial tubes and the sinuses from the inside. I love it.
Perfect, Trudy. And there's just one more thing that I wanted to mention was Kandesn Hand Cleansing Gel. And this is phenomenal. It's been around for so long. And especially when I travel, of course, I'm going to use it. But I usually have one, some in my purse. So it smells great. And it doesn't, there's not alcohol in it. So it doesn't dry out your hand. It almost feels like a lotion when you put it on. Do you like this too, Trudy?
I absolutely love it. We were traveling down in Desert Springs, California, and I was at Joshua Tree Park. I mean, the wonderful, incredible national park down there. And it was a really hot day, and my feet were really sweaty, perspiring, like it was really, really hot. And I looked in my bag, and all I had was the hand cleansing gel. And I thought, good for your hand, good for your feet, right? And I put it on my feet, and oh my gosh, for one thing, there was no odor after, right? But my feet felt amazing. And I thought, you can use it on more than just your hands. It does really look after bacteria. The difference between the Sunrider Hand Cleansing Gel and others that are out in the market, the other ones have a really high alcohol content. And they're very dehydrating for your hands and very drying. So for people who work in, for instance, healthcare, you notice you go, having had a hospital experience, everywhere you go in the hospital, they've got this hand cleansing gel. And you're supposed to use it before you go into anybody's room or anything like that. And it really can dry your hands right out. The nice thing about the hand cleansing gel with Sunrider is it's got a lower alcohol content into it. So it doesn't dehydrate your hands. Plus there's all the moisturizers to nourish your hands. Your hands just feel silky after you use it. And it's got a really nice, really mild scent to it. So very refreshing and certainly gets rid of that bacteria off your hands.
Thank you. Silky is the right word. So we've been just over 20 minutes, and I usually open it to questions and answers. I would love Gail Holder if she's available. I know she came on the call. I'd love her to contribute if she's available to tell us any little story about the immune system, or is there anything that you would like to share, Gail?
You and Trudy covered it all, Diana. They're awesome products.
Okay. Have you had a cold in the last 20? Well, you've been a Sunrider for longer than Trudy and I. Even I think I'm 22 years. Trudy's almost 23 years. How long have you been a Sunrider?
I believe it's going to be 25 in January.
Fabulous.
No. I haven't. I don't even think about that, having a cold or a flu. And if sometimes when people do have the sniffles, it could be to a cleanse.
Yes.
Yes. So their body's getting rid of the stuff that it's supposed to get rid of.
That's right. And that's a really good point. And we never covered that is you don't want to take things that just suppress it, but you still got the cold, you've still got the germs. So in my case, I've just fed my immune system so crazily that it just healed fast. But you're right that it's good to get rid of all that toxins that are coming out with a cold.
Yeah. Just eat it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
the final word. You're looking so awesome, and I'm going to have you hopefully as a guest speaker very soon if you're available, because you've had some amazing results recently with a new Sunrider product.
Thanks, Diane.
You bet. Thanks for being on the call. Are there any other questions, or Trudy, do you have any last words?
I really love what Diana, you shared something that was really important, is that when you're not feeling well or you're not feeling 100%, I do want to encourage anyone who is having health challenges, you see your doctor, work with your doctor's care. But I find that adding in that super nutrition with Sunrider to just nourish those systems, really make them strong and healthy, nourishing that immune system to be as healthy as it possibly can make such a difference. So I just love what you shared today. I'm so glad you chose this topic.
Me too. And I'm so glad that you did it with me, and Gail also as our assistant co-host. So I just love being on this journey with you. So everybody, stock up on your immune system foods, and we'll see you on this healthy path. Bye for now.
Thank you, Diana.
Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.